Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy Tuesday to join me. I really appreciate it. Took me a second there, but I do know it's Tuesday. I hope that you guys are doing really good. Tonight, I want to talk to you about modern homes and just why I think they're just about as fake as the guy currently sitting in the Oval Office. Although you actually wonder how much time the president does actually spend in the Oval Office. I mean, some would argue that you could kind of even calculate that given the fact that every time he's probably in there, there's probably a camera and he's probably rolling something, but like, I'd be rolling something else in there. You know what I mean? Which also begs the question, has any president ever in history ever smoked a blunt in the Oval Office? I don't know how we get to these sidebars, but they are just questions that I pontificate. These are things to. Anyways, I hope that you guys are doing good, alright? Modern houses are garbage. Like, let's just start there. And for the record, we've made videos before here on the channel that talk about how absurd it is to live in a world where cars, for example, cost more than they ever have and provide less in every which way possible than they ever currently have, as in they're far less safe, there's way less regulation, they have way less like user friendly parts to fix. So like any new car you buy, you have to take to some fancy mechanic that may or may not be certified in that particular engine make and model. And it's not like it used to be where anybody that had a good knowledge and understanding of mechanics could look at your vehicle and fix you right on up. That's just not the way the modern 21st century paywall works. You got to pay for everything, including the ability to fix your own car. And so, using that analogy, I just want to kind of point that out. It's not just something that has randomly occurred to me, it's just something that is another thing to sort of dissect as it concerns why we pay more for less in the current market, or lack thereof. Because obviously what's out there now is not a market. It's certainly not a free market. And in every which way it is actually super false in every which way from the ground up. So we'll start, link in the descriptions below to all the videos I'm about to talk about. I think there's like 4 or 5 of them all crammed up into my little brain here. But I will also preface by saying that I grew up in an old school construction home. You feel me? Right in the middle of 2 generations. An X generation and, dare I say, my grandfather. Oh boy, I think he was a quiet generation person. Yep, born in 1934. My grandfather was a pretty quiet guy, not gonna lie. He also did have a real fanciful joke, though, right? And anytime he'd get angry, he would ask, literally, if Tool was written on his forehead. And the answer to this day is still no, Grandpa. There is not the word Tool written on your forehead. So, anyways, in between the 2 generations, I'm a millennial, whatever. Kind of interesting, right? I mean, my parents were extremely young when they've had me, whatever. And so, a working class blue collar background in every way imaginable. And so my grandpa always instilled into me craftsmanship, always, on how to cut wood to fit into a perfect kind of a way. And I just honestly, rafters versus, trusses and all of these different kinds of things come to mind. And link in the description below on just how less practical trusses are, as it concerns like rafts and the opportunity that both of them present. And, rafts present a whole lot more practicality and simplicity and long-term sustainability and literal stability, whereas trusses provide a little bit more creativity. And when we say creativity, unfortunately, I think that means cheaper and just a way to make a product seem like it's better than it actually is. And that is, in fact, the case with trusses versus versus rafters. And I really felt and have always felt strongly about that. I grew up sanding small pieces of wood when I was a kid to make sure that the grain on it was soft enough for my grandpa or my dad to put into some sort of saw or whatever, you know? I mean, like Bob Vila, to this day, I go out of my way and collect old woodworking videos. I myself am not a carpenter by any means, but you bet you're behind that the moment I actually have something going on in my life and an opportunity to get the tools that I need, which cost thousands of dollars, if you don't already have them, I mean, old school craftsmanship costs a lot of money. And again, I just feel like a part of the appeal of selling people like fake things is rooted in some sort of actual real good history. And that's also the case with caulk and crafting, right? Because the invention of caulk allowed for a number of different shortcuts to take place. And again, just so far as like trusses and rafters go, I really feel like caulking in and of itself, while it provides a form and a layer of added protection, if you just knew how to put wood together properly, you wouldn't need any nails or caulking or anything at all other than just some genuine know how. And again, that's some real pre 19th century thinking. And I understand that because a lot of people aren't into old architecture or they don't know that such things can be made or that it's possible to create entire homes without any corners. I mean, these are the things that really geek me out. In case you didn't realize from the vlog that we're currently having right now, we're getting super low here as it concerns. Listen, I may not I love old world construction. I don't not from an architect perspective. I'm not my brother. I appreciate, for example, floors. Okay, to this day, floors are something that my grandpa really was just adamant about, um, you know, being knowledgeable of. And I myself have had an opportunity to step on some lovely floors in my life, so there are zero complaints here. Every fancy floor I've ever stepped on, I absolutely remember with like some crazy detail, just because a lot of work went into making that floor. A lot of work went into making homes that got shipped out to you from a catalog by Sears and put together and still are standing. I mean, even in that way, putting that box together in that kit from an instruction manual, pulling the literal pallets off of a train that stopped in your town so that you could load in the back of your truck and go put together like it was some kind of a Lego. I mean, those things, even within their very basic designs, were designed for long-term usage, and they were designed to be an actual home. And in today's market, or again, lack thereof it, all of those previous standards that were set are not anywhere near being met. And I didn't just mean to rhyme, but it's what happened. So I think we're done talking about trusses and rafters and caulking and craftsmanship, but just check out the links in the video in the description below because they're actually really fun videos. I don't think it would amount to any more than just an hour of your time watching these videos to kind of really understand my passion for old school workmanship in the way that homes are being built. And again, going back to the beginning, as it just compares ironically, or how it just happens to compare ironically to the automobile industry and just basically everything, right? We're paying a lot more for a lot less, and not just less by volume standards, but less by quality standards too. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe we should talk about that. Maybe we should talk about like why people go to IKEA still to buy furniture that is only going to last them until they move out the next time they move out. I just understand that may not have made sense, but what I'm trying to get across does. So, hey, thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. There's a catalog of more than 920 now on this channel. I'm very happy about that. So, again, take some time out of your life, get to know me a little bit. I've basically talked about everything at this point. This particular show has been going on now on the nightly, basically every night, with the exception of probably 15 calendar days for about, I don't know, 10 to 11 months now. So this is becoming a thing, and I really do appreciate all of you guys that are loyal watchers. I don't know if that's a thing, but I do appreciate it. It's often that I'm talking to myself in the future because a lot of times people don't really watch these videos or find them until some later point, and that's kind of the whole point of building this catalog. So I couldn't do it without you guys, and I really appreciate your support. So I hope that you have a really good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.